Welcome to State of the Arts. I'm your host, Jason Hedden. We're coming to you from the campus of Gulf Coast State College in Panama City, Florida. In this series, we like to talk to some of the local movers and shakers in the art scene. And today, our guest is Paulette Perlman. Paulette is a local artist or retired artist.
Retired,
you might say. Thank you for being here today, Paulette.
Thanks.
So, all right, let's just cut right to the chase. A lot of people, when they think of Paulette, they think of your really awesome art car that they see around town. So let's start there. What's the deal with the art car?
What's happening with the art car?
Yeah, how did it come about?
Oh, well, I have two art cars.
Okay, I know of the one.
Yeah, I also have a Volkswagen camper van that's painted by 59 different artists.
Okay, I do know that.
Around the country. That was actually my first art car that I did. So I have that one, which it is running, but it needs, some adjustments. So I'll be getting that one on the road in the next couple weeks. And my other art car, so that was how I built the first one. Okay. I need to cover up some bangs, some bumps on the car.
Well, I could use an art car if that's the requirement. My car needs a lot of art.
Well, and I thought, why not? My sister-in-law had sent me a book on art cars. And so I started kind of communicating with the people in back and found a whole community that I really enjoyed. Mm-hmm. I have never been... I don't know how to describe it. I've never been like a Rembrandt sort of artist.
Sure.
Or I'm more of a Picasso kind of,
right.
I'm kind of out there. So the art cars really opened up a vehicle for me. Mm-hmm. And now, as you know, I just bought a new car.
Right.
It's going to be...
You have a blank canvas sitting in the parking lot.
I do. So now I'm taking suggestions on what to do with the other one.
Is it intimidating? I mean, I would be intimidated to have this big, white. It's it's got a lot of surface area. It's almost got like a cargo van-y type.
But I picked that.
Yeah, but obviously
specifically because the brand. I got a Ford Transit Connect, and they traditionally have windows all the way around.
Right.
And I had seen without windows, and I just knew that. I mean, I really have been shopping for literally a year.
Will you have a plan for the whole vehicle before you start?
Pretty much,
okay.
Yeah. Now, I mean, I have a plan. It kind of changes from day to day, but I have a basic plan, and I guess I can tell everybody. I'm going to make it into D Art Gallery. My other one was known as D Art Coupe because it was a coupe that was so this is going to be D Art Gallery. Well,
there's a lot of space there for you to take work on the road and
and the giant frame. My giant frame fits in it great. And now I'm coming up with people which are like they're lightweight foam that you can put your head in and you can be a pirate or a mermaid or whatever I decide to make up.
So, fun. Sort of like, you mean almost like where you put your face in the pre-existing painting at the carnival, but these are portable ones.
Yeah, that you can hold up. So,
well, you come from an artistic family.
I do.
Right? So tell me about your family growing up.
My grandfather used to illustrate textbooks for children. He illustrated quite a few books. And then I had an uncle that was very prolific painter. I have a cousin that's an art director in New York. I have my brothers and sisters are artistic in sort of different ways. And then there's me. Oh, my mother and father both. My mother designed medical exhibits.
Really?
And my father worked doing drawings for the Army.
Oh, wow. So
they were both like careers that people never really think of artists having, but that was before we had a lot of this, digital stuff.
Sure, yeah, when a lot more had to be hand-drawn.
Yeah, so you had to hand-draw it. And we actually, my father, my brother and I have a set of, when he sent letters home from World War II, he would draw a picture in the letter. He wouldn't just write a letter home, Matter of fact, he did very little writing. He did more drawing and sending home.
Well, it's great that you guys have those.
Yeah.
all right, so you grew up in an artistic family, and then college, you studied art in college, right?
I did study art in college. I went to several, but I graduated in California. I kind of, fished around to see if there was something else I wanted to do, and eventually I just came back to the art.
Where in California did you spend most of your time?
When I was in college, I was in Northridge, Southern California,
Sure, yeah.
and then I lived a long time in San Luis Obispo. It's kind of the middle of the state, but it's real nice. It's real similar in size to what Panama City is.
Right.
So
the train station goes through there, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I took a train in 1995. I took a train from Chipley, Florida, to Seattle, Washington.
Oh, wow.
And I specifically remember going through that part of California.
San Luis.
And in Northern California, I remembered at one point, I'm looking out the window to the left. We're heading north, and there are surfers in the Pacific Ocean on my left, and on my right, there are cows grazing in a field. And I thought, what is this crazy place? And then we moved to California for 2 years. And where the strawberry fields run right up to the ocean in Watsonville near Santa Cruz. Great arts community there. Well, I was going to ask you this question later, but I'll jump ahead. And we'll come back.
It's your interview.
No, I can't do it without you. So, you've been in Bay County since 2005?
Yes.
Okay. So, since you've been here, how have you seen the arts community grow or change in the last 10 years?
It's grown quite a bit. We were talking earlier. I remember I was a member of the art. It was called the Art Coop, and it was on Balboa. And it was sort of a house with a house in the back. And so I think it's really good to see a lot of change. There's a lot more places. I kind of feel like if you bring it, they will come. And I think they're actually, we still have, as artists and promoters, which is the big part of art, we still have to give them something to come and look at.
Right.
You know what I mean? But otherwise, it's, the Music Matters is good.
Right.
The theater is becoming more, I don't know if people are just noticing it more, or maybe the people that are involved with it are more connected. We have social media, which is really sort of making us grow in different ways that are uncharted territory.
Right.
Is that what you'd say?
Yeah, sure. Well, I've heard a lot of people say that, it's not that there's not a lot going on, it's that not everyone knows about it.
Right.
Just the other day I saw a social media post of a former student, a young actor, and she was listing all of the live theater that was happening from Lynn Haven to Destin just in the month of October. And she put it out there and she said, hey, and it was a pretty impressive list. And she said, am I missing anything? And a few people noticed, yeah, you're missing one of the major venues in town, Martin Theater. So even for people that are in the loop, connected in the community, there seems to be a disconnect in terms of, just getting all this information. And I think a lot of times it's because we're so busy involved in the productions that, we're not effectively getting the word out there. Now, I know there have been different efforts in town, and some folks are working on a comprehensive online arts calendar that would be sort of a one-stop shop for arts and culture.
But
I know
it
that's
still
in the
takes
works.
Us to promote it, all of us to promote it. And, when kids ask me about being an artist, I tell them it's a quarter how good an artist you are and 3/4 how you market yourself, because there's a lot of great artists out there.
Yeah, that's true. I'm glad you said that. We were just talking in my acting class here at the college. We've had a couple guest artists that have come in lately, former students, and they've said something similar, talking about film and television, that you don't have to be the greatest actor in the world. A lot of it is just, sort of that grit, and the ability to, go on 50 auditions and not get one and still wake up the next morning and do another
I'm
one.
ready.
You know, or you hear all the horror stories, and yet you think, well, that's not me. You know, I got to do it. I know Priscilla Lopez, when I was a student here 20 years ago, she won the Tony Award for Day in Hollywood, A Night in the Ukraine, and a lot of people know her as the original Morales in A Chorus Line. And she came and spoke to a class, and I remember specifically her saying this, and I've heard other people say it since, that, you know, if you can imagine yourself being happy doing anything else, do that something else. Because you've got to really want to do it, you know, and people have talked about, you know, sacrifice and things that are involved, you know, and for actors, a lot of times it's like, you know, you're going to miss important family events, you know, because you've got a gig. I'm sure it's the same for musicians, and
weekends are our work week.
Yeah.
You know? So all those other events are sort of out of, you know, most of them we can't go to if we've got. I remember one time coming back from a gig I was doing in Destin, and there were 2 other face painters that I saw driving back from Destin.
Right.
So I thought, well, that's kind of sad that, you know, but so hopefully that'll sort of come to Panama City. And
that's the gig. Well, tell me a little bit about, you've got a unique gallery space, and tell me a little bit about some of the work that you're doing right now, or if we want to, you know, come visit or see some of your work, how do we do that?
Well, I'm open now Thursdays and Fridays, 11 to 2. I call it Everything is Art. I usually post some sort of art piece by a different artist every, you know, Tuesday and Thursday to invite people to come. It's 839 Oak Avenue. 839
Oak Avenue.
Right. It's called the Unreal Artist Gallery, and you can look it up on Facebook. But so it's a small. It's in my home, built in 1922. I have 2 rental spaces, summer rental spaces that I do. So right now, one of my projects is working on the yard. I'm building an art fence very similar to my cars. And because that's how I like to work. I like to work in recycled materials. I'm not really attached anymore. If it fades, falls off, chips, you know, I just replace it with something more wonderful, you know. So, because there's just a lot of, everything is art. And I guess I feel now I want to go more into helping people be artists, to teach art. That's sort of my retiring from the other part. Let all you youngsters do all that.
So what's the difference now that you're officially retired from art? How does your day look different than it did before you retired?
I get up when I want to.
Oh, okay. All right, you can sleep in if you want.
I can sleep in if I want. No.
And not feel guilty?
I think that, the part that's the most, and why I did it, was because I didn't want to be judged anymore. I wanted to just produce my own art, and that's what I'm doing. You know, I enjoy it a lot more. I don't think people realize when I was sketching bands last year, sometimes I'd go to 7 different places a night.
Wow.
You know, and that means I drank 7 different Cokes.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's a lot of work now. And then I have to like stick around to get people to sign their sketches. How I used to. Now I just go and I sketch and you know, okay, I'm ready. Goodbye. I'm going.
Yeah.
And I don't feel judged. That was the part I really wanted to get away from. I didn't want people saying that, and it happened to me yesterday even, oh, this person is better than that person. I keep saying, no, this person is different from that, and we're all our own unique, and so celebrate, you know, that uniqueness rather than telling them that, you know, so that's kind of my new theme in art is to combat that.
Well, I see you all over town at so many events, and it always brings a smile to my face, or when I see your car driving down the road. And so I'm looking forward to seeing the new art car. And we could talk all day, but we'll talk again another time. But I appreciate you coming in, Paulette.
Great,
So,
thank you.
this is Jason Hedden for State of the Arts, and thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time.